This is Web Watching. We are still at South by Southwest, where I'm talking to Chris Miller, the director at Connectria, and he's also the founder of Spike Studio Productions. Has a bunch of different shows that you have to check out. So today we're going to talk about the different layers of
social identity.
Social identity.
So it's public, private, and personal are the layers, and a lot of people don't know how to segregate the three into different layers of their identity. A prime example is banking information. We talk about it a lot. I would never use an email address, and I built an identity that I don't even share with family that's made only for my banking. Mm-hmm. Credit cards, online accounts, things like that deal with monetary, PayPal.
Yeah.
That email address is always segregated. I don't use it with anything else. I never put it publicly, and I don't share it with anybody. So that's one of the identities that we look at. And the other one is more of a private one, family, friends, things like that, and then the public side. So I've built three layers around it, and now we're showing a lot of people that how exposing yourself once on a bulletin board or in a social site can really expose your private and personal identities. Definitely start or get an email address that you don't share with anybody, and start moving your primary accounts to that for banking, for online finance, anything you do with credit cards, things like that. Start securing your identity personally that no one knows the address but you. I mean, maybe your spouse, of course, but there's no reason that anybody outside of that ever emails you there. You won't get spam there, because the only people you'll get is if the credit card sold your information.
Yeah.
So that's identifiable. And then what I do is I have the public address that I use for everything. And a lot of the email systems, Hotmail does it, Yahoo does it, a lot of them do, let you alias it. So you could have 2 or 3 email inbound names for the same account. So you still get it in one mailbox, you're not maintaining multiple mailboxes, but it gives you forms of identity. So I'm on every system in the world. I have, I think, 200 or something sites registered. I own the name I Do Notes on every system. But my email is idonotes@idonotes. Another thing I do is on any public site, I have the same picture and the same profile built. If I search for myself, all the sites come up. If I see a logo that's not me, someone could have taken it, of course, but I know for sure that's not my account, because I've never made that account. I never would have used that identity or that logo, or I never used that profile picture, what they call an avatar, and it's very obvious to see. So that's one way to do it. The email address is another one, and then consistency on all the public stuff that I do. I always use the same email address for registration for all the social sites. I use the same picture for all of them. I use the same contact information. When they ask you your parents' middle name, how many people actually use it? Most people do. But if I know enough about you, it's easy to find your parent, get the middle name, or your kids, or your pet.
Yeah.
When they ask me my pet's name, I have a made-up pet, which I would never share here because I use it.
Yeah.
And you'd never guess the name, because even if you met my real pets, you would never know the difference.
Yeah, that's smart.
Right, so I've built an identity around that, and I use that for all the sites, for authentication. A lot of them, they don't validate, right, who you are, where you are, so we could use a made-up number if you wanted to, or even a made-up address. One Main Street seems to be very popular.
Yeah. When you sign them up on Facebook, and they, especially when they are younger than 13, and you just sign them up a little early, that there is a problem with that,
This
right?
is huge, and it becomes identity problem is, and I face this my own, they're old enough now because they're public, they're on the site, but we're finding a lot of parents signing up kids on Facebook with a fake birthday and making them older to get in for the 13 and older. What happens is when the system thinks they're 18, it adjusts their settings to become publicly searchable by adults. So if you made your kid start at 10, and 3 years early, when they're 15, and if you have a daughter, she's now searchable at the age of 15 through the public adult system that wasn't there before. So by tricking the system, you're actually exposing your identity even earlier and to people you may not want to.
And that's probably what you exactly do not want to do, especially with younger children. All right, great. Well, thanks for talking to me. Where can people find you online?
At I Do Notes. Every site there is, I Do Notes. I mean, you search across any of them, you'll find me there. SpikeStudio.com is all the shows. So we have all our podcasts and video shows there. And otherwise, the real day job is Connectria, where we do all the hosting stuff.
The real day job. All right. Thanks for joining me. And can you say goodbye in Dutch? Do you know? It's Dewey. Can
Dewey?
you say it with me?
Yeah.
All right.
Dewey.
Dewey.